And we're live. Gene,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
So, there's one thing that I forgot to tell you before, but I'm going to put you on the spot right now. What I like to ask my guests before we get started into everything is if there's maybe a little bit of a little story about you, a little something that the world doesn't really know about you, from some of the articles that are out there, some of the videos on YouTube that might be out there of you. If there's a little thing you can think of, maybe that people don't know about you. I'm putting you on the spot.
You are. I mean, I love sports.
Okay.
I mean,
Did you play any growing up?
yeah, baseball my whole life.
All that?
Football, yeah, basketball. I was a big sports guy. I love handball. Love working out, exercising, everything, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So, for people that aren't very familiar with your story, there's a lot to get into.
Right.
Will you give a brief background about what it is that exactly you did, your role within mafia crime world, and then we'll go from chronologically from the beginning of your life after you give us a little background on who you are.
Right. So basically, you grew up in a mafia neighborhood. A lot of guys are like everyone says, instead of going into even though I played sports, you don't want to be an athlete when you're in those areas. You want to be like the mob guys. You know what I'm saying? So I got influenced by guys coming up that were in the crime world, and I got grabbed at a young age, and it's like baby steps. You start off with something small, and then they keep seeing what you're capable of. And for me, I just kept on going and going and going. And then before you know it, I was doing collections, assaults, shootings, robberies. And then it just kept, escalating to being a full-time mob guy.
Do you remember the first time that you, what age were you when you first kind of understood what the mob was about?
Oh, since I'm young, I was kind of born around it. My uncle was a pretty notorious fiat guy. And, growing up, we always knew who he was. Fat Andy Ruggiano, he was a real powerful man. And, young, you've seen him in the movie, so everyone's like, oh, that's you, related to him. And then you kind of see what he is, and then you start learning. And, family members tell you stories and stuff like that. So when I was probably 15, 16, I really knew what it was.
Did you understand, because some of the mobsters that I've had on the show actually talk about how, the police is kind of like the bad guys and you
Right.
guys are the good guys. Was that in your head?
Sure.
Was that the same?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. In our neighborhood, there's no such thing as 911. You don't call it. You just don't do it. And you could steal a piece of gum from a store and telling someone you're a rat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's so crazy.
Wow.
That's how it is.
So then what did you think, did you know at a young age this you were going to get into it, or did you think that you would go in a different path?
I mean, I knew I was going to be a criminal from young. I started young, I've been getting in trouble since I'm young. I started off with assaults, and then just kept, getting worse and worse.
What age was, your first assault?
16.
And what do you remember what it was?
Assault with a weapon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a fight, but, I used a weapon on the kid.
And so, describe to me what kind of kid you were. Were you, was there anger? What kind of...
Yeah, I have a bad anger problem,
Where do you think it came from?
It's just born with it, It's kind of in my genes, should I say, my bloodline, So I have a really bad anger problem. I go from 0 to 100 like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so your family, so you had uncle is Fat Andy Ruggiano.
Right.
And was your dad involved?
No, but he was a street guy also coming up. He was always in trouble younger. He was more of just a street dude, not involved with that.
And
Right.
you said the neighborhood that you grew up in was
Queens.
Queens.
Yes.
And was that for people who aren't familiar with where the most prominent places of crime are going up?
Right.
What's New York City looking like when you're growing up?
Well, here's the thing. For Italians, Middle Village, Howard Beach, certain parts of the Bronx, you'll have these Italian communities, and usually what's over there is the five families. You'll have a mixture of it. My area is mostly Gambino, Bonnano. So you're going to get involved with that, it's going to be Gambino or Bonnano. In certain areas, Lucchese is a lot out of Staten Island, Bronx. You won't really see too many Bonnano, Gambino guys in Staten Island, very small portion. So in my area, and Brooklyn was more Gambino, Bonnano. So when you're coming up in those areas, those are the guys that you're going to be around probably. So it's mostly Italian communities, 9 out of 10 times are gonna have mafia in it.
So was there like what's the relationship like between the Gambino and the Bonnano families?
I mean, a lot of times they share territories. It is like that a lot. I don't know why, but it is.
But it's peacefully sharing
I mean,
territories?
sometimes it can be. The littlest thing could trigger it. You know, there's been so many beefs that, you know, 1 minute you're best friends, next minute you hate each other. You know, I've seen it 100 times. So that's just the way it is.
Do you feel like you had any real friends in this life?
No.
None.
No. No.
Wow.
No. Not in the mafia world, no.
And how do you so you said your first assault was 16.
Right.
And how do you remember like what you felt after it, or did you think like,
You know, you're trying to make a name for yourself, so you think like you're a guy, you know, you're trying to
so
be
that's
down.
that's
It's
the goal.
truth. When you're a wannabe, that's what you start off as. Everyone
Right.
does. That's the God's honest truth. And I always say the most dangerous people in the world are wannabes because they're trying to be.
Right.
So they're capable of anything. I always said that the guy that's going to kill me, God forbid it doesn't happen, is a wannabe because he's the one trying to make a name for himself. He'll be the one to sneak you. He'll be the one to try to say, I did it. So I could relate to that because I was once that guy trying to make a name for myself. You know what I mean?
Right. So the whole so that's interesting because it's between you want to make a name for yourself, but you're also trying to. I mean, you're taking orders, right?
Right.
So
Of
what
course.
like for you? How did you balance?
But you got to get your name out there first before
Right.
they get interest in you. They're not going to just pick any Joe Schmo off the street. You got to be out there.
You got to show that you're
Right. I was doing stick-ups young. I was doing bad stuff. Me and my boss's nephew were terrorizing. And we were bad, and that's how we got noticed. You know, I was already doing time at 18 for a serious charge, came home, and that was it. I was full-time.
Do you remember? I mean, when you went to jail for the first time, 18.
Right. Yeah, that was bad. Adolescent Rikers Island.
Wow.
Bad experience.
Adolescent Rikers Island.
Real bad.
What was that like?
Oof. It's like walking into a war zone. 18 years old, I had no bail, so I couldn't even bail out. I had A1 felony, possession of a kilo of cocaine with a family member. I had no bail, nothing, and I had to go into probably the worst county jail, and it is in the country, and adolescence is out of control.
How so?
It's just chaos. There's no control, just fighting all day, cuttings all day, and just chaos.
How long were you in there for?
I was in the adolescence for 4 months, then I turned an adult and went to C-73.
Wow.
And then it was still bad over there, you know?
So during those 4 months at Rikers,
Well, I did a total of 40 months in Rikers Island. But that's just my
that
first...
was for your first time.
Right.
Was there a point when you were in Rikers that you thought, I might be done with this? When I get out, I'm done.
No.
You knew it was like, all right, once I'm out, I'm
I
going
actually
back
got
to it.
along with the gang members. They love me.
Really?
Yeah, they always do. I don't know why they love me.
What
Yeah.
different gangs were?
Oh, Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, you know, they're all in there, but they all love me. You know,
Wow.
I think they love Italian people. I don't know why. It's just the way it
It's
is.
the accent, maybe.
Yeah, it probably is. I got along with them so good. I have so many good friends that were gang members.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so do you remember maybe like the worst point at that first experience at Rikers? Worst story?
Worst story. I walked in, literally, I was in there for 10 minutes and I seen a guy get a jacket thrown over his head and 4 guys beat him up.
First 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes in there, they're already it was just chaos everywhere. There's no control over the place. I seen riots where they're hitting each other with belts, the belt buckles across from each other, 30 on 30 riots in there. The cops have no control. They're scared of the inmates. A lot of them are from the same neighborhoods. So they might even know some of the COs and tell me, better not act up. You live on so-and-so block. You know, that's how it was. Some of the COs are gang members, ex-gang members that didn't get caught. It's just chaos.
So, wow. So you see that first 10 minutes in. Are
Right.
you like scared for your life?
I mean, like I said, I'm playing the role. You know, I'm playing tough guy in the street. So, like, I kept my cool. I got my teeth chipped in there, you know.
Wow.
Sure. Washing my face. Kid punched me in the mouth. I wouldn't give him my PIN number for the phone. And he snuck me in the mouth. And then we fought. And then people started respecting me there because I was a white kid fighting. You know?
But you must have, I mean, you're like not a huge guy.
Not a huge
but-
guy. Well,
but
I
you got-
used to be big.
Really?
I was a bigger guy.
Okay.
Now I slimmed down. But
But you have the technique.
nah, I just
You're just scrappy.
I'm just willing to go.
Yeah.
You know? If I got to use a weapon, I use a weapon, whatever it is, you know?
Wow.
So, like I said, I had a lot of experiences in jail. I had a lot of jail fights. I lost some, won some. been jumped before, in jail, and that's how it goes.
And how many people are in your like cell?
It's not. You see, that was a dorm.
Oh,
So at first the dorm says like 60 people in there.
60. They want to put 60 boys.
Yeah.
That are all criminals.
Yes.
Together. I mean, that's
with murders, with kids 19 years old facing life.
How do you expect them not to fight?
That's what it is. It's what it is.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the food like?
Disgusting. I wouldn't give it to a dog on the street.
Wow.
You have to have commissary or you're screwed. If you have nobody looking out for you, it's bad.
And you had people looking out for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. My family always took care of me while I was in jail.
And what did your family think when you went to jail?
Nah, they weren't happy, but.
But at the same time, they knew you were in the life, right?
Right. Well, no, I wasn't really in the life yet at that age.
But you were committing
I was
small
committing
things.
crimes, right?
And it was always under the orders of your uncle?
No.
Was there ever? Did you and your uncle?
No, I knew. I've hung out with him before when I was younger, but
Right.
I didn't physically, work for him.
You never. Okay.
Yeah, that was before my time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, wow. So then you get out. So you do 4 months there.
Right. Well, only 4 months there. Then I went to the adults for another 3 months, and then I went away for another 8 months. I did a total of 16 months on my first bid.
Okay.
Then I came home.
So you go from like 18 to like 20, kind of.
August of 2004.
Okay.
I got locked up April 2003. I came home August 2004.
And then, what? So which of those 3 different places was the worst?
Rikers Island's the worst jail I've ever been into.
Really?
I've been in Green, upstate, and Medium. Okay. That was really wild. It's like all the kids from Rikers Island are in there. Wow. So it's the same thing. But Green was pretty crazy too.
But did that never scare you, like, that once you tasted what prison was like, were you ever like, man, I want to do everything in my power to never be back here?
That was my problem. No, I didn't.
So you didn't really matter to you if you were in jail?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it didn't. As I got older, when you go to jail, you lose everything.
Right.
I didn't have a girlfriend when I first went in that bid, but my second bid, I did.
You did.
You lose them. Any money you got in the street, you start seeing people, they're robbing it or trying to. It's just like no loyalty. You know what I mean? And like you start losing, people you care about as you get older. You don't want to lose. That'll make you change. You know what I'm saying? Mm. But for me, on my second bid, I was so institutionalized already and such a criminal. I was like, oh fuck, I'll just get a different.
So growing up, did you go to school?
9th grade, man.
9th grade.
Yeah,
and then you dropped out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your parents didn't like keep you in?
Yeah, but it didn't work out. I wasn't having that. I want to go.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I hated school.
And do you feel like? I mean, now we'll talk about more of the stuff you're doing now. But do you feel like one of the big reasons that you see a lot of kids go into crime life is lack of education, or no?
Yes, and also and then it's not just Italians. It's like for the other cultures.
Right.
They really have nothing or no one a lot of times, and they go into these gangs and they really think like, oh, this is a family. It's not. They're using you. Just the same thing where I was used. You're not making no money. They're not. They're basically cutting each other and stabbing each other over. You have blue, I have red. It's ridiculous. And the kids don't. They have scars on their face and for nothing. They have no one looking out for them. No commissary. And they're living messed up, man. And a lot of them don't even want to do it after a while. They're like, oh, I wish I could get a job, man. I got no one to help me.
Do you wish that you had maybe had a better education or had liked school better?
Right. I wish I did. Yeah. And
do you think now? Do you have any? Now do you is there any interest in maybe going back? Or
nah.
It's too late.
Too late now. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so then you do. So the first time you go in, how many months total was it?
16 months. I did.
16 months.
Yeah.
Okay. You get out,
yeah.
And then what are things like on the street? Then are they kind of the same? Do you get to go back into your role? How's that work?
Yeah. Well, like I said, from when I got out at that time, that's when I kind of got with the Bonnano family. And that's when I started doing sports betting and loans and no more drug dealing really, and no more, still doing stick-ups because I did like to rob. I did. I did. I couldn't help myself. I was an armed robber.
Wow.
So, they didn't like that very much sometimes. But
okay, so we'll go into each of those things. How did the sports betting work so that's 2004, right?
Right. So we call that peanut butter and jelly. Sports and loans goes together like that's just what it's called where we're from. If you're a loan shark, you're doing booking. So, I love sports, and everyone bets it. And so, I was around guys that had sports books, and we would get a half sheet. So basically, we would get customers, bring them to at the time who was I doing it with Ronnie, obviously, and you'd say, okay, I need 10 accounts. Okay, $1,000 limits each. Okay, so now let's say they lose 10,000. You got to give the office 5,000. We keep 5,000.
Okay.
You understand that?
Okay.
So basically, you just bring customers.
So you say I have 10 different people.
Let's say 10 people.
Each of them want $1,000 on their
limit.
account of credit.
Right.
And then take it from there?
So basically, let's say the sheet loses 8,500.
When you say the sheet?
Well, we call it sheets, a half sheet.
The house.
That right.
So the bookie who's
right.
hanging out.
So let's say I was under Ronnie, so
Okay.
his office.
Okay.
So basically, let's say my sheet lost 10,000.
Okay.
Office gets 5.
You lose 10,000, meaning the people
the
on
players
win 10,000.
Right.
Okay.
So now Peter pays Paul.
Right.
Let's say you have one guy that won 500, one guy lost 500. You just have that guy, give it to that
gotcha.
guy. So everybody has to pay. Because if it's not, it's on you.
Right.
They don't want to hear at the office.
Right.
It's really true. Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
They're not really saying
Yeah.
it really is. So the office has to get their money on Friday.
Okay.
So basically, if that sheet's owed $10,000, you have to give $10,000 on Friday.
Okay, I gotcha.
And then 5,000, and we take 5,000. So if she loses 10, we split 10.
Okay.
Now if they win 10,000, I go in the red.
Right.
Which I don't make another dollar until that sheet loses back 10,000.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So now my sheet was a lot bigger than that when I got older, but when I first started, it was small. And then you make a few dollars, you do all right.
Okay.
And then you get into loans because those guys will start saying, oh, well, I need money. It always comes with that. Oh, I need 5,000. I need 3,000. Okay, now I go to Ronnie. I got loans now. Okay, I get it at one point. So now I'm getting $1,000 at $10. I'm charging him $3. So I'm getting $30 on $1,000. So I put 10,000 out. I give Ronnie 100. I keep 200.
Okay.
Now you put 100,000 out. You're making 2,000 a week. You're giving Ronnie 1,000 a week. For just picking up money on a Friday.
I see what you're doing.
Right.
And how are you keeping track of all these things?
Oh, you write it down. You know.
Because 2004, there's not really is there online sports betting? It's not.
I think
really.
it just came in 2004, 2005. It was just there.
But at that point, you're still doing everything manually.
I think 2005 was.
It was when it started.
It was on sites.
Okay.
It was already on sites. Yeah.
And so you're basically just moving money here and there.
Right.
Okay. And that's at that point it's illegal.
Well,
right?
even manually, even if you do it like
Right,
that,
yeah.
you have an office where guys are doing everything, and you have your half sheets. It's still the same thing.
Okay.
You just bring in bettors to them.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, what are some of the other activities? There's one that you mentioned before, armed robberies.
Yeah. So we would rob drug dealers a lot, and fake loan sharks and wannabe gangsters and guys that we felt were herbs and shouldn't have the money.
Yeah.
And that's what we were doing basically.
So how would an armed robbery kind of take me through the beginning to the end?
I mean,
a good example.
Usually it's tips. Guys would always tip us off. We're like, okay, well this guy's got $50,000 in his house. He's a loan shark or drug dealer, and this is the layout.
Okay.
And then we take it from there. We sit on him, we watch him, or we see if we could just stick him up outside, bring him in the house, or whatever we could do, walk him in, zip tie him, and then stuff like that.
So how
many people are in the house? The neighbors. You got to watch everything for a week or so, or a couple of days, and see the layout.
So how many people were working with you on an average
robbery?
Yeah,
probably 3, 4. I always like to have a guy outside. Scanner. Sometimes you want 2 in the house. Depends if it's gonna be a home invasion. Armed robbery, you only might need 2. 2 people, 1 in the car, 1 doing the stick up.
So at that point, you're working for the Bonnano family?
Yes.
And so it's people that would go to maybe the boss. Is that the correct term?
No, not even that. They wouldn't have to go to him, but I would have to check in with him and tell him what I'm doing. Okay. Because if you do something without telling him and then gets back in his face, well, why don't you tell me I can't stick up for you now?
I see.
I don't know what's going on.
Right.
We were given a score one time, and this is a funny one. It was actually one of my stories, but it's so true. My boss's nephew, he's a real weasel, this guy. And he really is. And he actually doesn't even tell us who we're robbing. So he gives us a score to do. He says, this guy's coming out with 50,000, masterpiece Rolex. It's worth like a $80,000 Rolex. We're like, all right. So me and Bobby, his nephew, sitting on the guy coming out the car place. I pistol whip the guy. I get him the whole 9 yards. It's a Gambino place. Not only is it a Gambino place, it's actually his best friend's place. He's setting his own friends up to be robbed. Wait, it gets better than this. Wait. So now we're all happy, me and Bobby. We're like 20 years old. We got all this money. We're young. And we're happy. We're celebrating all this. About 6 hours later, I want to say, Ronnie Giolonzo's ringing my doorbell. I'm looking outside. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing here? I go downstairs. I'm like, oh, what's up, Ronnie? He goes, oh, what's up? I go, what's up? He goes, you do anything last night? I says, no, why? What's up? He goes, do me a favor, turn around, go the fuck upstairs, give me the money and the watch. I says, what are you talking about? He goes, okay, let's try this one more time. Turn the fuck around, go up. I just turned around. Walking up to the thing, got what I had in the watch. He goes, you fucking dumb motherfucker. He goes, they found out it was me. He goes, they could kill you for this. He goes, you fucking robbed a Gambino card place, da-da-da. I'm best friends with the guy. Who the fuck, flipping out on me? Sure enough, Richie boy, he goes, the guy presses him because he knows that Bobby, his brother's like kind of into that stuff. Okay. I swear to God, all the guy did was run to him, goes, you have any duties? He goes, Regina, Bobby, I'll get the stuff back. Wow. Dimed us out within 2 hours. I swear to God, it's a real story, man. Wow. I had to give everything back. I got reamed, yelled at, and this is how things go wrong. In actuality, I could have been killed for that in real mafia terms. Right. They thought I did it like knowing it was their place, saying fuck them. I pistol whipped the guy on top of it. The guy was crying, by the way. I was laughing. I was like, this guy's a gangster. He's hysterical crying. And and this is what I mean, like, wow. Things can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he actually did a weasel move and almost got us in big trouble. And I actually told Ron, he says, Ron, I would never do that. I wouldn't go disrespect their place like that. I says, we just didn't know. And Richie boy went and ratted us out and almost got us killed and gave us the score. And then goes and rats us out 2 hours later. Wow.
So then how much do you get paid for like an armed robbery on average, would you say?
Oh, it depends. It could be big, man. What
was your biggest payday?
$500,000.
Wow.
Yeah. But we split it,
So split like 3 or 4 ways.
Yeah, But like, I'm talking about, I've hit a jewelry store before. We cleaned out the whole store. Wow. Broad daylight. Yeah.
How's that? Tell me about that.
It's just real cowboy shit, you know what I mean? But like, we did it,
In this is in Brooklyn?
No, this is in Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah, this is real cowboy.
And in broad daylight.
Broad daylight, man. Broad day. I mean, literally jumping over the counter, guns out, zip tied them, took the whole store in laundry bags. This is real stuff. Yeah.
And how does he? This is what year is this?
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
So there's like security cameras and all that shit.
Yeah, we were just a little out of control. Yeah.
Did you get caught for that one?
No, I admitted to it, obviously,
right. Yeah, later
but,
on. But, so how do you even that's crazy you can even get away with that in 2011 with the technology in daylight.
My whole thing was this. People never expect you to come in broad daylight. They don't.
That's true.
And I tell people that all the time that work for me. I says, they'll never expect us to come 9 in the morning.
True.
My trick was I'll go in the place. I look nice. I have money. I have nice jewelry on. And I'll tell them, I want to sell my chain. So I have the guy trust me. And what I'll do is now the next morning I'm coming in with that chain. I'm basically coming in there and I'm going to jump over that counter, zip tie you, and rob you. That was the plan, basically. That's how I did it.
Okay.
So I knew there was no cameras that didn't work in there. It was a tip, basically. But we knew the cameras didn't work. We knew security didn't work. So we knew the layout.
Who like when you get a tip like in that example, who knows that it doesn't work, the cameras? Like who
Well, his friend, obviously.
Oh, wow.
So that's when he was like I said, it was Rambo to do it in broad daylight, but we did it because we knew that the cameras won't work, and I knew I could show my face, at that time. And there was only one door. We put a door stopper in the door, so it couldn't lock. So we basically followed me and my partner, how we did it, and we took the whole store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So you have, there was one other story that I read in one of the articles that you sent me. I think you tied the wife up, or there was something.
Right. Well, I wasn't even, see, here's the thing, people don't even know. I wasn't even in the house. I was in Florida.
Okay.
I sent people in there. It wasn't my score. I was given the score, and he was actually a guy in our crew. He was actually with us, same crew.
The guy that you robbed?
Yeah. I don't want to get into names and details,
we
but
won't do that.
he was actually in our circle, and he was actually a pretty good friend of mine. It was actually pretty fucked up, to be honest with you. And his good friend, who was another made guy, set him up, and that's how we did it. And I wasn't in the house. I just sent them from Florida. I had the guys. I put them in there. And, they always says, oh, Gene Borrello behind the mask, all this. I wasn't even in the house. I wasn't even there.
But do you feel guilt? Like, do you feel guilty? I mean, you say like it's a little fucked up, but do you feel guilty when, it's a friend, it's someone that you know?
Like I said, when you get involved in this lifestyle, I said it before, you could be in the car with 3 guys, one gets out, you're plotting on them. This is the way it was, man. I'm telling you, like, there's no, like, it's just, everybody wants to be the guy. There's no loyalty. Everybody wants to be the one with the money. Everybody wants to be, you can't put 5 Italians in the room. How about that? You can't. Wow. They'll all be fighting with each other. It's just the way we are. I don't know. So, like I said, it's grimy.
Right.
It's a grimy thing. The whole lifestyle is grimy.
But was there any part of you that enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Like, did you like doing it, or was it for the money?
Well, it was for the money, but then when you start getting involved, you start to like the power too and the respect. That comes along with it too, Wow. So at first it was just about money. I want that lot of money that, the guy I answer to has millions. I want that, And he promised me I would have that, which he lied. But, that was why I got into it more,
So your ultimate goal was to make it to a level where you're bringing in, like, you
big
work
money.
your way up.
Right. I wanted money like him. He was bringing in $30,000 a week just in loans.
Wow.
Right. He's making $1.5 million just in loan shark money, man.
Jesus.
Doing nothing, man. Waking up on a Friday and just making 30 grand plus sports.
And is there like in that life, is there a convention, like, if you like, I do 5-6 years this way and I work my way up, like, it's pretty much guaranteed that I'll be at that point. Is that how it works?
No,
it's not guaranteed.
No, it's not guaranteed.
How does one really?
Because you could get in a crew that has no money.
Oh.
I got lucky with a crew. That guy, he's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
He's dumb as a bag of rocks, but the guy's a moneymaker, man. That's what his talent was. He knows how to make $1, and he had a 7th grade education.
Wow.
Just he was a made guy. He knew how to use it. He had the right people around him, and he became rich.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then,
and this is not like little money. I'm talking about he was making this for years. Like he had big money.
And how many of the people that you kind of grew up working with or working for are still around?
A bunch.
A bunch?
Yeah.
And do you still, I mean, there are a lot in jail, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you see any people from that life anymore?
No.
No one?
No, that's dead.
Do you try to stay away, like
yeah.
Is it easy to now that you're out to completely stay away from?
Yeah, well, obviously, they're mad at me,
yeah.
But I miss sometimes I miss, certain people that were crime guys, but they really were good. Some of them were good. I mean, not in the sense where they weren't really mafia guys, but they were, if you hang out in the neighborhood, they still don't believe in telling. Right? So they're still mad that I did what I did because, I have best friends of mine that aren't even street guys, and they're still mad. You know what I mean? And it didn't make no sense to me at first, but then I'm like, you know what? They grew up around this pretty much too. They're not committing crimes, but they still feel like you sold out. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So you kind of lose a lot. I still have a lot of people that stuck by me though, believe it or not, and I was in shock by that.
Really?
Yeah, I still have a lot of people.
You'll tell me about that in a second. I need to run a quick ad for Manscaped, as I told you earlier. Where Is This Going is brought to you by Manscaped, and it's very exciting because they have a new electric trimmer. The Lawnmower 3.0 was just released, and I'm here to tell you all about it. This third generation Manscaped trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to prevent manscaping accidents. Millions of balls all around the world are about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. If you use the Lawnmower 2.0, it's an easy transition because it's the same replacement blade with a new and improved skin-safe technology. When I tell you this is premium, I mean absolutely premium. This new feature that is included on the Manscaped 3.0 trimmer has an LED light which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. They also have a new battery that lasts up to 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the amazing charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud, and show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a rapid charging dock powered by USB. If you're listening to me speak right now, I appreciate it. And you're one of the first people to hear about this life-changing product, and I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Use promo code WTG at manscaped.com for 20% off free shipping. That's WTG at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. Gene, your balls will thank you. Anyways, let's get back into it.
Yeah.
So, you said a lot of people stuck by you.
Yeah. I mean, not like bad guys, but like a lot of people in general, I still had by my side.
Did you? So how many times did you go in and out of jail?
I did 3 different bids.
Different bids.
I did over 10 years.
Did over 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you do any in solitary confinement?
Yeah, only like 90 days, but it's still, you know.
What was that like?
It's horrible.
Is it different than being? I mean, like, was it that much worse than being with other people, or what was that like? What was that experience like?
I mean, yeah, you know, I was in the hole, but I had a bunkie, so which is worse because you know you're not by yourself,
Right.
so you have to share this little room. You don't ever leave it, and you got a little dog kennel for a yard, so it was pretty horrible. When you use the bathroom, you got to put up the sheet. It was just it's a bad experience, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, the hole is a bad experience, you know.
And I mean, mentally, how are you dealing mentally when you're in there?
It's pretty rough, you know. You have no phone, you can't call nobody. You got to write letters, and I'm not much of a writer, so you basically just stare at the wall. There's nothing else to do. Maybe a little push-ups here and there. You only can shower 3 times a week.
You can only shower 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's how he does it. That's how they do it.
Wow.
Certain spots, you know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And at that point, how old were you when that's going? Like what?
I was 23.
23 years
Mm-hmm.
old.
Yeah.
Man. And do you get occasional visits?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you had family that would come and see you?
And friends. Yeah. Right.
And are you like, was there ever, like, what was the point where that you told yourself, okay, no more?
My last one. Yeah.
What was it about that one?
It was just, I mean, I'm not gonna make excuses, but like my own, I was set up by somebody that I trusted. That was one. 2, you start to, as I'm 30 years old, I'm facing an asshole full of time. I got state conspiracy, Florida. I know the feds are barking up my ass. I'm in a load of trouble, and nobody would help me. You know, I asked for help. They wouldn't. You know, whatever. He was mad at me. I told him, I said, you know, just give me a fighting chance. You know, I'm in big trouble. They wouldn't help me, and I finally seen like this is a waste of time. My mom kept telling me like, what are you gonna die in jail for? For what? They don't even give a shit about you. Nobody. Like, everybody's out for themselves. You didn't see this by now. They've been using you your whole life. You know, it's like, you know, you lost everything. You know, I lost my girlfriend. I lost all my money. Everything's just gone. You know, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, I'm done with this shit, man. This is it. Like, I'm in Rikers Island. I'm in the worst building again. They got me in C95. They're fucking killing each other all day in there. All day. I'm like, come on, man. Every day I'm locking. I come out, I call them. Yeah, I'm going back in. They're cutting each other again. I go back in for another 2 days. I was in there for 19 months in that building. And I finally just said, you know what, screw it. I threw in the flag. I threw in the towel.
Do you ever miss it?
The crime? I mean, not that I miss the crime. I mean, I'm an adrenaline junkie. So that's the only reason why. You know what I mean? I remember sitting on people for 2 days, eating chips and drinking a soda. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for them to give a guy a beating. You know, sometimes I got to wait. You know, I couldn't do it. The neighbor's out walking the dog or something. I got to wait, come back, and I'm just waiting with a billy club to get this guy in.
So you'd be sitting there just eating chips, soda, watching TV.
Like it's regular.
Like
you
it's
know?
like it's just
talking on the phone.
the same way you're about to go play basketball. You're about to go.
And it's not like I'm making stuff up. This is so true. You know what I mean? Like going to beat up a guy. You know, I sit there by myself, and I was waiting on someone to come out, and I finally got mad. I said, you know what? I'm going in the fucking house. I've been waiting here. And I seen the cable guys go, we're going into his apartment. And I went right in with the cable guys. I swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's like mentally, do you, when you're committing like a crime of that level,
Right.
do you feel, I mean, I guess that's one way to prepare yourself mentally, but
Right.
is there also like other ways? Is there fear? Is there like butterfly feeling? Like what is, describe it for someone when you're about to
you're
do
always,
something. There's
I don't
something.
Listen, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're notorious, this, that. You're always going to be nervous before you do something because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a movie where the guy's going to come out exactly at this time. This is how it's real life. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Anything. You don't even know if he has a weapon on him. You don't know if he knows you're coming. It's just like a lot of things can go wrong. You know what I mean? So you're always going to be nervous. You know what I mean? What happens if you're not supposed to kill him and you kill him by accident? Or what happens, you know, because orders are orders. Don't do this. Make sure you do this. Make sure you tell them this after you do it. Okay. You know, they want to make sure things are done the way they want it, you know?
Wow.
So it is nerve-wracking, you know?
And do you ever, do you remember the first time you had to put a hit on someone? Like,
What do you mean, like,
kill him?
yeah, right. But I was sent to kill someone, right? And
How old were you?
I was 22.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was actually my friend.
They asked you to kill your friend.
Yeah, he was actually one of my best friends. Then we became enemies, and then I tried to kill him, yeah.
So it was after, when you were enemies, that's when they went.
Well, yeah, but we was very good friends.
Wow.
Yeah, and I tried to kill him twice. Yeah.
And what happened?
No, he got away.
He got away.
Yeah, he's dead now, but
He's
somebody else killed him. But he was, you know, he was a wild guy. I'll give him that. I always give credit where credit's due. He's probably one of the most craziest kids I know. And he was too much. The mafia couldn't handle him. How about that?
So that's why. That's one of.
Yeah, he didn't care about nobody or anything. He was one of those guys where, fuck the mafia, I don't give a shit. I'm going to do what I want. And he did. For years. But we kind of pumped his brakes a little bit, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, he went away for a while. I went away for a while. We came out, and we actually kind of, you know, reconciled.
Really?
Yeah, he tried to kill me too.
So you guys, you tried to kill him. He tried to kill you.
Yeah, and then
You
I
guys
tried to
both
kill him again.
You tried to kill him again.
Yeah.
And like when you say I tried to kill him or he tried to kill me, like what are those interactions?
Oh
like?
man, I mean, you're talking about he machine gunned my house. 28 shots into my bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. You know, I shot him in broad daylight, and then
You hit him.
Yeah, his right arm. Yeah, and then he got hit by a car. His girlfriend hit me with a car, and the same thing. This is all real. And then I got up, got away, and then he came and machine gunned my house.
He machine gunned your house.
Machine gunned my house.
So, but like, this is in where are you living at the time?
Howard Beach.
And the police never comes.
Oh yeah, they came.
They came.
There was
machine. I mean, like
there was those strings all through my room, all through it.
And you were there.
Of course, I was watching TV with my ex-girlfriend at the time. Poor girl, I had to drag her off the bed. She almost got killed too.
And where you hiding? Like
we had to slide. I'm on the 3rd floor, so I had to slide her off the bed while I'm watching TV. I see the one bullet come through, and then it just came through rapid. Blah, 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 blah. And he was trying to get me because my bedroom, my headboard is right next to the air conditioner in the wall and the window, so he was shooting at that, and it went through the windows and all of that.
Holy
so
shit.
he was trying to kill me. He thought I was going to be laying down, maybe, you know, and just kill me while I was sleeping.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was a serious kid. Definitely, I'll give him that.
Were you I mean, were you scared to die?
I mean, you don't think about it, I guess, you know.
You're just like if it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I never thought about it like that, you know. You run around doing stupid shit, you never know, you know. And that was really it with him.
How did you try to kill him?
Well, there was like a planned thing. We tried to get him again in his car, and my partner actually froze up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that happen often?
Well,
Guys
you know,
like kind of like get.
I think like when it comes to murder, people, like anyone could punch somebody. Obviously,
Right.
You know, I know guys the toughest guys I know, growing up with Irish kids. They're so tough, but when it comes past the punch, you're like, oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You know, certain people can't go to that level. You know, my partner, who I thought was tough and all this big bad stuff, we were sent to kill him, and he froze up. I was only supposed to be the backup shooter, and I ended up firing 6 shots into his door. And I wasn't even supposed to be the one doing it. He was supposed to do it, and he was like this, look, frozen. Yeah, so.
Wow.
It was botched.
So then, how did you get? What was when you guys reconciled? What did that look like?
It was the weirdest thing ever.
Wait, so you guys both try to kill each other. You guys go to jail.
Yeah.
And then how old? You guys are both at that point.
I did 4 years, came home. He did 5 years, came home.
You guys are the same age.
We're the same age,
So, like,
1 year apart, and then we became friends again.
Wait, but how did? Where did you guys meet? Like how did?
It was it was the craziest thing because when I first got out, I got out in July of 2010.
Okay.
Okay. He got out in April 2011.
Okay.
So now I know he's out. I'm getting word back from Ronnie, leave him alone. Just leave it alone. I said, okay. He's like, just leave him alone. Let it be. Don't go after him no more. I said, okay. So he's basically don't want no problems because he really knew we were trying to kill him. Obviously. He knew we were after him. We were beating up all his friends. Anyone that hung out with him. We were really, really after him. You know, it was actually an ongoing war for like 2 months. Literally. It wouldn't stop. So when we got out, people were like, they don't want this again. You know, come on, this is too much, carrying guns every day and all kinds of crap. So we seen each other on Jamaica Avenue. I got a 357 on me under my seat. I'm always carrying because I know he's out. I know how he is. He's got one on him too. He has a gun on him. So we lock eyes on Jamaica Avenue. He sees me.
You're
I see him.
walking?
No, I'm in my car.
Okay.
I just dropped off one of my friends that was over there by his sister's house. We lock eyes for the first time. He sees me. He's waving at me. He goes, "Let me talk to you." I said, "What's up?" He goes, "Let me talk to you." I said, "All right." So he gets in the car. He goes, "I'm letting you know I got some on me." He says, "I know, I do too." So so we're talking. He's like, "Listen, bro, it is what it is. We did what we did to each other. Let's just be." I said, "All right." I says, "Listen," I said, "I gotta check in with my people first. I can't just, I'm not hanging out. I can't just walk around with you no more, bro. You threatened to kill my boss's kids. Like, this is different, And from then we were cool again. He was stashing guns in my house, drugs, fucking, and we got really cool again. It was crazy. And we would laugh at each other. I'm like, a little to the left, you'd be dead, motherfucker.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were two maniacs, He's dead now, Somebody else killed him because, he was just a wild guy. And when he threatened somebody, people really get scared. And he threatened somebody, went in the guy's house, and the guy killed him.
Does it make you, like, when you think about it, does it make you sad that, like, some of these guys die? Or is it just like, you knew what you were getting into?
It gets sad. And a lot of my friends are dying from overdoses. A lot of them. So I'm seeing a lot of this now. Every time I'm talking to somebody's overdosing and dying this fentanyl shit and all this stuff now.
And so are these former mafia guys?
Nah, just guys you grew up with in general, But they were kind of like crime guys, but not really, But as far as crime guys, when they die, I don't even think too many people care. When he died, nobody really cared.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody really cared.
And so so in your neighborhood and some of the people you grew up with now, it's a lot of the fentanyl, like what?
Yeah, they're all doing this Roxy shit. Yeah.
Wow.
They're all going to that and heroin, and they're all dying. A lot of them.
And growing up, do you do any drugs?
When I was younger, we just did party drugs, like ecstasy a little bit here and there, Molly, shrooms, all that stuff. We weren't junkies.
But you were just dealing?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I would deal K and coke and stuff like that, yeah.
Wow, okay. So then, so then you get out, so the last time that you're done, you're like, I'm done, mama, like,
Well, no, I was in jail.
You were in jail.
When I got home my second bit, I was worse than ever.
Okay.
Oh, I was worse than ever.
Right, but after the third time?
No, I didn't. I just came home December 6th.
Oh, you just...
I just got out.
You just got out.
I just got out, man. And the way...
Holy shit. I didn't realize it was that... I didn't realize it was that soon or that recent.
Yeah, I just got out, man. Wow. I just did 63 months.
63 months straight?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I was supposed to do forever,
And so it was because... So you got out early. I mean, people ratted on you. You're telling... I mean, how's that working?
Like I said, when I had my state conspiracy...
what was the state conspiracy for, or what?
It was attempted home invasion, conspiracy to gun possession, gun stuff. Half these charges, I was like, all right, whatever, man. I know they want me. They'll put conspiracy assault on a dog right now. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I know my time's up. They want me off the street. I remember when I got locked up by the state organized crime task force, the cop, I says, well, so what am I a suspect? And he goes, everything. I said, okay. I said, all right, this is going to be bad. So they rearrested me again while I'm locked up. September 5th, 2014, I got locked up. They rearrested me again for Florida on an armed robbery in a jewelry store. And that's a conspiracy also. So I have no way of getting out again, no bail. And then I know my lawyers tell me the feds are locking you up. They're coming for you. You have a major thing coming on you. I was like, okay. And I had my lawyer says, obviously my fake cousin, he wasn't my real cousin, but he told everybody he's my cousin. He set me up, had me on wires and all kinds of shit. He got caught with selling 20, this moron was selling the cops ounces of cocaine, direct sale.
This is your friend.
This is my friend that called me his cousin. He told the whole neighborhood I was his cousin.
This is when is this?
This is 2013. He told me he's
selling to the
selling
cops.
to undercovers basically. Has no clue it's an undercover. So he's selling them cocaine with his baby in his hands, pulling the drugs out of the baby's backpack with his wife.
No.
Yes. So now I don't know this. I have the kid. He's always going, Gene, I'm sick of being a nobody. Can I do things for you? That's all. That was his thing. I says, all right, Frankie, I'll give you a shot. I'm letting him do things. Sure enough, he's fucking working with the cops. I have no clue.
Wow.
So I was banged out. He had me. Attempted home invasion, everything. He had me.
The whole thing.
He had me. I was hit. I had told him to get rid of a dirty gun. I was just hit. He had me on all kinds of records, and I knew I was in big trouble. So, and then there was other cooperators. Obviously, I don't know exactly who they are, but I knew there was other ones against me also. And my lawyer got my discovery, and it was like an 8,000-page wiretap, all blacked out. I couldn't even see it. Wow. My lawyer goes, I never seen anything like this. He goes, you can't see nothing. He goes, Gene, don't even cop out. You're going to be recharged for it in the feds. He goes, if you plea out, you're going to do time double. You're going to do the same. You're going to do time for the same charge twice. And he's like, basically, they just want you to, talk. Okay. And
So they basically told you it was like life in jail or start talking.
I mean, not like that. Like the feds are very people have an image on the feds how they work. It's really bullshit.
How does it really work?
It really works is
you're in jail, they sit you down?
Right. They actually, how they got me was they called for a visit. And the captain came to see me, a white shirt. And I'm like, visit? I looked at it, I go, visit? She goes, yeah. I says, feds? She's like, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me go down there and see what the fuck they got to say, man. Fuck this shit. I went down there. I met them. They said, listen. They never said, you're facing life. They never said that. They says, but you are indicted. We're letting you know you will be indicted, And they says, do you want to cooperate? And I agreed. Yeah. That was 2016.
I mean, basically at that point, and also, I mean, you had so many fucking charges. You add those up.
Well, like I said, if you think about it, I'm a predicate felon already. I already did 2 bids. Right. I have multiple arrests. I have a state, they're probably going to give me 6-7 years. Florida's going to bang me out. They're the worst.
Really?
They give you 5 years for jaywalking. And they are just horrible out there.
How much do you think would just on the up
Florida probably would have gave me 8 to 10 years, and that's consecutive. And then feds would have nailed me to the wall.
So it was at least 34.
Oh, easy. 35, 40 years, easy.
Oh my God.
Easy. It was over.
So then, but then they also knew that you knew dirt on you knew stuff.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. I worked for pretty powerful dude.
Right.
And another, Vinny Saro, Ronnie Gialonzo, these guys were big shots, so. But like I said, how the federal cooperation works is not how people think. They think you cooperate. Oh, you go home.
So how does right?
It's such bullshit.
So what is it? I mean, you talk about a little bit that interaction, but then after you kind of do you have to write something down? I mean, on your end, you're probably scared. Well, if I'm going to tell you something, I need to be guaranteed I get the fuck out.
Right. You have to know when you first meeting them, you think they're fucking you over. I'm like, why would you give somebody like me a deal? I don't know how this works. Why are you going to help me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a bad guy. I'm admitting to all these bad crimes. You're going to help me? Right. But they never say that they never promise you nothing. They only tell you, listen. They never said to me once, you're going home because you cooperated. They never said that. I pled out to 15 to natural life guidelines. Wow. You plea out to your top charges. You're in limbo the whole time. You never know what the judge is going to give you. So for anyone that thinks that when you cooperate, I'm going home, I was with guys that cooperated and still got a lot of time. You never know what this federal judge is going to do to you. You never know. So when you plea out to your top charges, and you have to wait for your case to be over, and then you go see a federal judge. So you never know what it's going to be. I remember it's so funny because I pled out to 15 to life, and I just remember oh my God, this is crazy. I'm not understanding how it works. So when I got to the Woodsack jail, I ran into a guy named Joey Caves. He was a hitman for the Colombo family, and me and him became good friends. And he was out of New York because there wasn't many New York guys and their mafia guys no more. It was mob guys were all gone. It's all gang members. So I couldn't relate to nobody. So he told me, I says, Joe, I think they're going to fuck me. I says, I got these big guidelines. He goes, 15 to life, that's nothing. He goes, I killed 6 people. I got 12 years. He goes, relax. He goes, he goes, just relax. He goes, you're going to be all right. Let's see, just see what happens. They don't promise you nothing, but, for you helping them, the judge will take that into consideration, and, you have a good chance of getting, you can get 15 years. You can get 20 years. You never know what you're going to get. But for your cooperation, usually the judge will do the right thing, but it's not guaranteed. There's never a time when my prosecutor said, you're going home. Really? She would never say that, ever.
So they're not so they don't tell you instead of 30, we'll give you 5.
Never. It's illegal. They can't even do that. They would never even say.
So then how did you? So then, but at what point did you know you were getting out?
I didn't until the judge said time served.
Oh, so
I'm in limbo the whole time, even when I'm going in front of the judge.
Wait. So you're in your head. So you did how many months?
63.
So was it one day you get at month 63, you walk in there and they're like, all right, you're good.
Well, you go in front of a judge, and then now remember, the Eastern District don't recommend. So my lawyer recommended time served, the prosecutors just won't oppose it. They'll say, we don't have a problem with that. So it's up to the judge. He could say, well, excuse me. He could say, I don't feel he should get time served. I feel he should get 8 years. Or I don't like his crime, or this and that. It could be anything. He could just wake up with the wrong day. I didn't get laid last night. You know what? I'm going to give this guy an extra 3 years. That's how it works with the federal cooperation system. They think like people in the street were saying I was out. I was dying laughing. I'm hearing rumors I'm driving a white Mercedes. He says, oh, really? My twin? I'm in jail, calling you from a jail phone. So people really thought like I cooperated. I'm laying on a beach somewhere. It's like I'm in jail.
So how much time before you got out did you know you were getting out?
No, that day.
So it's literally that day?
That day.
So they're like, you're good.
That's it. I was so in shock. It's like you go in there, I said a few things, I talked about myself, I says, Your Honor, I'm sorry for everything I done, the whole 9 yards. And then he says, okay, I'm agree with time served. I was just like,
So he woke up on the right side of the bed.
I was like, all right. He's actually a good judge.
Okay.
So you could get a wrong judge and you could get slayed.
Wow.
So like I says, I'm thinking about I admitted to all these crimes.
Right.
I mean books filled. And it's like
how many crimes total did you admit to?
It's uncountable. I mean robberies is uncountable. It really, I think of a new one every day when I was sitting with them. So it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. I forgot about this.
But you wouldn't tell them, like when you're.
You have to admit to all the crimes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would be like, oh, I forgot about this one. You have to tell them everything you've ever done.
But is there a part of that incriminates you? Like if you're like, oh wait, I did this one too. Like
no,
okay.
No, because you just have to admit to all your crimes.
So you would start thinking of new ones every day.
I would forget. And I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I did this one also. And they're like, all right. And then
if you had to estimate how many armed robberies.
Honestly, robberies in general, I did over 100 of them. Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Do you feel
counting burglaries, everything? Definitely over 100.
And in terms of like beatings and like killing and shit,
I don't know.
Not really.
Yeah, not a lot. Shootings, I had a couple. Beatings, I had a couple. I had a bunch, but not like other guys, Yeah. But I had my fair share. Mine was more chaotic because I was really wild. You know what I mean? So for my generation, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, I was a dime a dozen. In Johnny Alight's era, there was 100 guys like me. When I was growing up, there wasn't really too many like me. So I kind of stood out a little more, carrying guns, doing shootings in broad daylight, doing the whole 9 yards, shooting up, just bad stuff. So I kind of stood out a little more. But like 20 years ago, I'm just a regular.
So I mean.
But I mean, it's a lot.
To me, no, but to me, I mean.
To you,
do you feel blessed that you're out?
Fuck
I
yeah.
mean, like
out, yeah.
Like.
It was over. I was never.
I mean, was there a point you thought you'd be there for the rest of your life?
Yeah, because at first I didn't want to go bad.
Oh right.
I didn't want to cooperate for nothing. Yeah.
Right.
And then I did it.
Wow. So then
people were in shock.
Right. So that was one of the articles I think is that people there was I guess I think it was one of the neighborhoods I don't remember where but they were angry that you were out. I mean.
Fuck yeah.
And they feel like you're...
Well, you understand, Selma, a lot of the information that these guys get, like Jerry Capisi, he's a stone cold moron, the guy. And I'm not going to get into him. He's just, he takes information from criminals. He takes information from people that really are going to talk bad about me because they hate me now.
Right.
So how you take information from people that, obviously going to say half bullshit about me, you know what I'm saying? Get your information right, you know what I mean? He's just fishing for a story. And he's saying nonsense, you know what I mean? Like he says some true stuff, and then he'll contradict himself. He'll say one thing about me and then say another thing about me in the same story.
Right.
So he makes no sense. That's why I just pay no mind to it.
So now you're 35.
35. I'll be 36. Yeah.
Wow.
A couple months.
What do you hope life looks like for you from here on out?
Oh man, like I said, I'm trying to. I'm gonna try to help a lot. The Second Chance program. I'm trying to get into it with A-Light. I'm gonna start getting into that,
Right.
talking to people.
So how do you? Sorry to interrupt you, but how do you and A-Light kind of get to know each other?
Well, he worked for my uncle back in the day, and he was known to the area. I mean, like I says, I don't toot no one's horn. I'm not here to boost anybody. He was maniac in the street. Everybody knew that. So whoever says no, they're lying. You know what I mean? Whoever tries to say he's a liar, this and that, all the bullshit. He was notorious. Everyone knew who he was. He was out of control. So, like, I wasn't as bad as he was, but I was bad. I was considered a cowboy, as they say.
Right.
So, like I said, he was a no nut job. He worked for my uncle, and I knew his sons too. I played football with his kids, and we kind of knew each other. My family members knew him very well, and my cousin Anthony, who was Fat Andy's son, my cousin was really good friends with him too. So we kind of, like
And
that.
how has he helped you since you've gotten out?
Yeah, he really has, man. He really helped me a lot. He talks to me a lot, because I'm a hothead, and I might see something I don't like, and I fly off the handle. Like, you can't do that no more. He's, trying to make me not be so crazy because I'm quick to, So I'm trying to, do that now, and then hopefully help other people with that.
And do you feel like, I mean, one of the things that when I had him on that that he talked to me about was he feels like he had a lot of PTSD from jail and just from the past. And do you feel like you have some of that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I get anxiety, but
Yeah.
not that bad. He did a lot worse time than I did. He was in
Right.
Brazil and stuff
Yeah, I
like that.
know.
But like that's different. I do a little bit, but not really.
Do you have you tried therapy or any things like
Anger
that?
management I'm doing now.
Right.
I mean, not anger management. It's more like therapy talking like
Right.
that for my anger.
Does it help? Do you feel like?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Where do you feel um like what are some of the things if you had to recommend to people who are in crime now or that are thinking about it or are in it and still have the opportunity to get out? Like how do you tell them?
Like I said, you can't tell a mafia guy nothing. So it's like if what I'm saying right now, oh, he's a jerk off, so it's like he sold out all the crap. But if you really break it down, you're signing up to die, you're signing up to go to jail, you're signing up to be betrayed by your friends. It's a joke. You know what I mean? It's like it's just disgusting. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing good about it. People deep down really don't like you. You're hurting people. You're doing
Right.
things they might, out of fear, say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" They really don't like you deep down. A lot of people are happy. Ronnie G, who I work for, people hated him. They're happy he's in jail. Like so many people, like are happy he's gone. They'll pretend because they don't want to hear the bull crap, but deep down inside, they really don't like us.
Do you fear your life now that you're out? Do you think that people are still do you know if there are people that are still trying to
I
get you?
mean, I mean, I'm sure somebody would like to. Why not? It's a nice little notch under their belt. They made a move on me to kiss ass. People do that.
Does that scare you?
I mean, no. I mean, what am I gonna do? You know, I live in New York. They didn't want me to live in New York at all. My prosecutors.
And you decided why?
I wanted to. That's where my family is. Everyone is. What am I gonna do?
Right.
So I wanted to go back to New York.
And how do you, I mean, just financially speaking in survival, like now that, you don't make money that way.
Right. So 9 to 5, I'm working. I work for my family member, and I'm trying to get into the union and just be a regular guy.
Does it ever tempt you knowing
No.
knowing how, well, not even just like that stuff, but the ways that you're making money before was so easy.
Easy.
So,
Oh my God, yeah. I never worked a day in my life.
But
So it's like, this is new for me, but I'm gonna do it because
how's that been so far?
it's good. It's fine. Some days it's not. Some days I'll be miserable, but for the most part, it's fine.
Wow.
I'm getting used to it. My thing is I want to really explain to people like you're wasting your time. Gangs, Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, everybody. MS-13's there. I don't know what their story is, but I'm saying the Bloods, the Crips, the Latin Kings, the gangs that I interacted with, they're all good people. A lot of them, man. They just stirred the wrong way. If you get a chance to talk to a 16-year-old kid that don't know any better, and he thinks like going to cut someone's face is gonna get him points, or doing 10 years in prison, now he's the man. When you go to jail, you lose everything, man. No, you just do. And if you have nobody like a support system, you're really screwed up in the game. So these kids get in there, they have no one looking out for them. Like I said, no mom, no dad, and they have nothing else to turn to. Now, if you have someone that could talk to them, and like you have a choice, you do have a choice at the end of the day. You can make a choice. You can go to school. You can do that. And I would love to see like kids just do better for themselves. Not get involved with these waste of time. It's just such a waste. But I wasted so many years of my life, and I have nothing to show for it.
Do you feel like, have you had like particular conversations since getting out with
I have people
some young
hitting me.
kids?
I have people hitting me up after that rally, and it's cool. And they talk to me on the Instagram, and they hit me up like, man, I liked your interview, and I can relate to you. And I talk to them. I tell them, yeah, man, listen, I'm telling you, I've been through hell and back. There's no point. You get nothing out of it. If you want a reputation, I mean, it does nothing for you. All you're gonna be is the guy sitting doing life and say, oh yeah, he was a stand-up guy. They'll forget about you 2 years later when no money coming in. Yeah. You'll just be a neighborhood legend, for nothing.
Legally, are you completely immune from like new charges arising? Like, are you like completely good? Like, there's no fear.
Yeah, there's nothing else. I admitted to everything.
Okay.
Yeah, everything, all my crimes are admitted to, done with. Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, 35 and you're out, and you're in a pretty good position considering where like maybe a year ago you thought you would be.
Like I said, this was it for me.
Right.
This was it. It was over for me. I was coming home an old man. This was it.
Wow.
Yeah. This was the.
So this is your second chance program. This is your second chance at life.
Yeah, I won't mess this up. I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm really gonna use my voice for a good reason now.
Have you been able to surround yourself with the right people since getting back out?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Like I said, I still have a lot of good people around me.
And your family has been.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's? I mean, one of the big things that with some criminals that get out is this system. I don't think makes it easy for people who've been locked up for a while to acclimate back into real life. It's really. I mean, not only because of your record, but right. It's hard to go from being in jail for 3, 4, 5 years and multiple times before to then going back and be like, okay, go live.
So hard.
I mean,
and like I said, my prosecutor, who I'm really cool with, and the agents, they even talk to me like, I know it's gonna be hard, but you gotta, you gotta do the right thing. You know what I mean? Don't make a fool. Don't mess up. You know what I mean? They're on me. They don't want to see me mess up. They really want to see me succeed, and that's also good. I have them supporting me. Also, they really they say call me anytime. If you feel like you're gonna mess up, anything like that, just try to stay right, and I'm doing it.
Do you feel, I ask this to some people who kind of go in and out of jail sometimes, do you feel like you're still that same person? I mean, it's hard to be a new person in a second.
I told my prosecutors, I said, you can't just wave a wand over my head and say, abracadabra, good guy. Yeah. That's not real. I says, it's going to take time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm getting better. You know what I mean? I mean, there's times where I was in situations, not in jail, in the witness unit, you can't get into fights. And I had to hold myself back. But, you're around a bunch of people that are all you're at all murderers, you're at all bad crimes, and, you got to see if you can control yourself. And I was doing it. I was behaving. I couldn't believe it.
Is there now, even if there's maybe like a slight like moment where you feel a little angry, is there like a one thought that you go, do you think about jail and all that and you're like, don't do it? Like,
yeah, I can't. Because I can't put everybody through that again. I can't. Yeah. My mother does time with me. All of them. It's horrible. So it's like, I'm not doing it again. I got a good thing going right now. Hopefully I could, I'm a regular guy now,
Yeah. Do you feel like these people that are, I asked John this question actually. Do you feel like you could be a good guy and also, I mean, for him it was a little different. He was more brutal in a sense. But do you feel like you could be a good guy and commit all these crimes? Do you feel like
I was a good guy. I would give anyone anything. A lot of people won't admit to it now because I went bad, but before that I would do anything for anyone. You call me at 4 a.m, I run out of my house for you.
Right.
And a lot of people knew that with me. If you needed money, anything, I always looked out for people. But in the same sense, I also did bad things.
Right.
It was so weird. I could be the greatest guy in the world or the biggest fuck in the world. It was just, it's the way it is.
If there's, to wrap things up, if there's one thing that you hope people can, that you feel maybe is a misconception about you, or that you hope people can better understand you, what do you hope it is?
This is a hard question. I don't know. I really can't answer that. I don't know. I think, like, what they want to think of me now.
I feel like I can answer it for you.
Well,
I feel like that you're not a bad guy. That you don't, like, even when you're talking about like if someone that you love is like, I need you now, like that you'll go at 4 a.m. That I think, and I hope for you, and I think that, having you on my show and doing other things, hopefully more in the future, is it really shows you that, yeah, there's so much more to life, and it really, what's great to hear you talk is that there's so much, you do really feel like you're grateful to be out.
Oh,
like this is your second chance at life, and I'm confident, and I hope that, you have lots and lots of years of beautiful
Yeah.
life ahead, and no more of the crime. And
No, I'm done.
and yeah, man, I just hope, that people like A-Light, who's great when he came on, and to have, I think it's important to have people who understand you, because like for me, like I'll never be able to understand what you went through, right? But it's so reassuring and good to know that there are people like A-Light, people like that are there to mentor you in a different way, because
Right.
A-Light's older, he's been
Right,
through all that,
of
he knows
course.
what that experience was like.
Right, and like I said, even when now that we're considered cooperators, people are gonna hate on you. People are gonna say things about you you don't
Right.
want to hear, and you have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be good and there's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing you could do about it. But I'm glad that he took me, and I'm really trying to do this thing with him. And I have people like I said, hit me UK. I'm like, hit me up, asking me things. It's pretty wild, and I'm like, yes, call me anytime. Tell them kids anything. You need my help. You want to talk to me? I've been through hell and back, man. So
Perfect.
That's good.
Thank you, man. Thank you for
Yes.
coming on, and I wish you nothing but the best in this
Thank
next
you.
life, man.
Appreciate you having me.
Perfect.
Thank you. All right.